Laura here from 40 Below Fruity, and today I'm going to share a story with you guys. I learned a lesson 3 years ago on March 11th of 2011, and that was a lesson of being grateful for life. So on March 11th of 2011, I was in Japan with Sea Shepherd Conservation Society, and we were in a little town called Otsuchi, and we were there to film the doll's porpoise slaughter. And something happened that pretty much rocked our world and turned it upside down. So here's the story.
Up the coast from the Fukushima power plant, supporters of the marine wildlife organization Sea Shepherd are in the town of Otsuchi to monitor fishing practices that threaten porpoises.
We started to feel the earth shake.
We are currently experiencing an earthquake.
It was hard to stand up straight. In a lot of my video, I'm trying to show cars rocking back and forth, but I'm also rocking back and forth. My first instinct wasn't to think that there was a tsunami coming.
But team leader Scott West knows his group is in a terribly vulnerable spot if a tsunami does hit.
You know what? I think we get out of the center harbor.
Yeah. Scott started shouting, this could be a tsunami, we need to get out of here. It was just kind of mayhem at that point because people were panicking.
I was about halfway through our drive to the hill, the tsunami sirens went off.
You hear the sirens?
The group makes it to high ground just before the massive tsunami strikes.
It was just a matter of minutes, wasn't it?
It was.
Between life and death?
It was.
The tsunami hits hundreds of miles of coastline with incredible fury. Entire towns are wiped off the map. In a matter of minutes, more than 13,000 are killed. Thousands more go missing. 500,000 people lose their homes. The numbers are staggering. From their hilltop perch, Mike and Tara watch helplessly as the tsunami overwhelms the fishing village of Otsuchi.
Look, in the distance.
God, there is a freaking house floating.
This is unreal.
Their close-up view makes the experience deeply personal.
I wonder if there's a person in that house, and then it struck me. There could be, there was a house that was floating by. But I still haven't really processed it because no one teaches you how to deal with that.
The swirling ocean water sweeps away the bits and pieces of countless lives. A thriving town is being reduced to little more than a debris field right before their eyes.
I was thinking to myself, am I really witnessing a town disappear right now?
There's fires everywhere. The whole town is underwater.
In Japan, this is the morning after. The destruction from the earthquake and tsunami is appalling. The numbers of dead and missing, heartbreaking. An urgent relief effort is underway, but it's a daunting task. Roads and rails are now twisted ruins. Power and communication lines are down. It's hard to imagine how this part of the world will ever return to normal. In the small fishing village of Otsuchi, the damage is painfully obvious.
The air's filled with smoke.
Through an eerie haze hanging above the harbor, Tara Millen and her colleagues from Sea Shepherd are overwhelmed by the scene below.
There's no emotion that can describe it because you're just standing there in complete shock. Like, how could this happen?
As they make their way down the hill, it's clear the only way out will be on foot. Each step takes them closer to the destruction they barely escaped.
This is what our road used to be. Last night it was flooding with water.
Power poles were down, the power lines were live and on the ground. We didn't know if they had power in them, so we traversed over them carefully.
Watch out for the power lines.
It was just complete devastation. Like, cars turned over. The tsunami wall was under the water. It was a huge wall. It was, this thick.
We're currently traversing our way, trying to get out of here. We got past the spot where the road had broken.
The road was literally cut in half, and there was, a waterfall going through it, and it was just completely surreal.
Just 24 hours before, this thriving waterfront was bustling with activity. Now, it's silent and still.
Maybe 1% of the houses were still standing, and the only house that was standing that I could see is where everybody was sleeping that night. It was strange because we were there earlier in the day, and you look in every direction, there's just absolutely nothing.
We hiked all the way up this hill and up and around. Found a community of people. I think this is where they used to live.
They were devastated. You could tell, and they were in shock just as much as we were.
Are those what I think they are?
Yep.
Oh my God, my
Oh, goodness.
You know, they had these beds laid out, and I didn't realize it when I was looking at them. I thought that's where they slept, but it was their family members who had died that were piled on these beds under blankets. I'd never seen a dead person before, so it hits home to you that we weren't that far from being the same.
Tara is 5,000 miles from home, face to face with a small group of strangers who are in the throes of an unimaginable tragedy. They don't speak English. Tara doesn't speak Japanese. The only thing they share is a common humanity.
Those people, you know, I mean, they lost everything.
What were they able to communicate
Sadness,
to you?
but still love, because, you know, they offered food to us. They made special little rice balls for everybody so they could, you know, eat them. And I mean, it's the generosity I was astounded by.
It is a remarkable moment of grace and dignity. Tara and Mike decide to try to make their way to the inland city of Tono, 27 miles away.
This is it. It's the last we will likely ever see of Hatsuchi.
Watching that footage is so surreal, and every single time it brings me to tears, because I didn't really deal with any of it until years later. I mean, it was maybe a couple months ago that I actually started to explore these feelings from what I had after the tsunami, and it's so crazy and so surreal to even think of what happened, and to think that in the blink of an eye the world just moves on to the next problem and forgets about Japan, even though we're still going through a nuclear crisis after the whole tsunami and with the power plant over there. It's just crazy, and it really humbled me, that experience, and it made me very grateful for life. So that's the message I want to leave you with today. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of something to hit home for you before you can feel grateful for being alive, and we have so much to be grateful for. So that's my story of survival, and now I live life with the intention of waking up every day and doing something that's going to make this world a better place, whether it's for raw food or for activism, or just something that just fills me with joy and makes me happy and grateful to be alive. So if you like that concept, press the like button down below and give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time.